Hi, everybody. Hi, Dr. Brown. How are you? We'll give everybody a few minutes to get in. Okay. Let me go live on Instagram. One day I'm going to figure out how to go live on Instagram because this thing is. I think I might be live on Instagram. I don't know. We'll have to just see. Maybe I'm live. Oh, I think I am live. I got a check mark, so I might be live on Instagram. Hey y'all. Hey, so I'm gonna give everybody a few moments to join the live tonight. We're going to be talking about workplace issues. So what I would love for you to do is go ahead and drop in the comments where you are watching from. Drop in the comments where you are watching from. Atlanta, thank you for checking in, Dr. Brown. Thank you so much for joining the live. We'll give everybody some time, so let's just wait for people to join. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Dr. April Brown. I am a licensed professional counselor, wellness expert, and business consultant, and I help people and businesses prioritize their mental health, elevate wellness, and embrace self-care. And here on my YouTube channel, I am committed to helping Black women navigate workplace issues, okay? And racism as well. So racism and workplace issues. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Just, how you are navigating workplace challenges, what might be some things that you want to change in the workplace as well. And then also diving into what your support networks might look like and how you are addressing racism and discrimination at work if you are encountering it in your work environment. So we have a lot to talk about tonight, y'all. Hey y'all. I see we have a couple more people who have entered. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Go ahead and drop in the comments where you are watching from. Let me see. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any comments. Hello, hello, everybody. If you are just hopping into the live, go ahead and let us know where you are watching from. And also, while you do that, I also want to just remind you that I do offer free mental health resources that I do send monthly. So if you are looking for ways to improve your mental health, your wellness, or your self care, make sure that you join my email list. You can do that by visiting my website. The link also to join the email list is in the description box. All you're going to do when you get to the website is scroll down to the bottom, put your name and your email address in, and you are all set to go so that you can receive those resources as well. And of course, if you have not already, you know that I make videos here. I try to post every single week. Unless I am indulging in self-care, y'all, there is a video every week. So just make sure that you subscribe and you hit that notification bell as well so that you can stay up to date when I post a new video here every week. And yeah, what else I'm going to tell y'all? If you missed the first live that I did, I think it was back in July, you could definitely go and check that out as well. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do lives maybe once a month or so. So I just want to check in with you guys, allow you the opportunity to meet me kind of face to face, even though we're in cyberspace. But just so that you guys can interact with me and so that you can get to know me and really learn more about who I am and what services I provide and things like that. So that's kind of the purpose of the live, for us to really be able to start building community, being able to create this safe space so that we all have somewhere to come to get the support that we need. So on my YouTube videos so far, I have a few playlists. So if you are jumping into the live and you just got here, go ahead and tell us, please, in the comments where you are watching from, okay? And basically, I'm just wasting time gabbing right now until we get a few more people to join the live so that we can really start diving into workplace issues tonight. But yeah, I just want to know. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, I was telling y'all about the YouTube videos that I make. So as you can see, I have a few playlists. One playlist, well, the start, I guess, of my YouTube channel was creating that racial trauma series. So in that series, I pretty much dive deep into racism and discrimination and what it looks like, especially for Black women. And basically, the first 4 videos kind of serves as like an educational kind of format where I kind of talk to you about racism and racial trauma and where it stems from and all of that. And then the last 4 videos are more solution focused, where I give you some strategies and some tips and some insights on how you can navigate racism and discrimination while you're at work. And also, if you have not heard, hi there, Lady Whitfield. Thank you so much for joining. Please, Orlando. Okay, we got Orlando in the house. Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for joining the live. And then we also have Dr. Brown watching from Atlanta. So thank y'all so much for joining the live. I'm just talking right now just about kind of how the YouTube channel is laid out. But back to what I was saying about that racial trauma series. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lady Whitfield. I appreciate that. So anyway, like I was saying, yeah, go back and catch up on the series. It's an 8-part series where I talk all about racial trauma, y'all. And let me just tell you this racial trauma series is a big part of the core work that I do, y'all. Okay, because unbeknownst to me, so okay, let me rewind just in case we have some new folks. So I finished my PhD program in May 2023, so last year, and basically my research was on Black women counselor educators or Black women professors who teach counselors how to be counselors and what they do to reduce racial trauma in the workplace. So a big part of the racial trauma series came from my dissertation work. And unbeknownst to me, actually, back in July, I was recently awarded. The National Board for Certified Counselors has a Dissertation Excellence Award. And so in 2024, I was selected for the qualitative category. So my racial trauma series, the dissertation research, all of that, essentially, I received the national award for that, national recognition in the counseling profession. So right now I'm in the process of getting that research published, and yeah, it will be submitted. I have to submit the manuscript on the 30th, but y'all, this is the first time this is actually the first research study in the counseling profession that examines Black women counselor educators and what they do to reduce racial trauma in the workplace. So it is a big deal, y'all. So that racial trauma series is you getting like a sneak peek and really really like condensed version of my dissertation research and then what's to come as I get ready to publish. Okay. So yes, I'm about to be published, y'all. Okay. So this is the first manuscript, but there will be plenty more. I'm so excited about it. This will not be the last that we will be hearing about racial trauma and Black people in the workplace. Like, I'm on a mission here, y'all, to make some change. So there's so much more I want to do with the dissertation, and that'll be coming in the near future. But I'm just really excited about that. So yeah, so I'm here. I just want to let y'all know that this is serious work for me. Like, me showing up on YouTube, you know, I think I'm live on Instagram too. You know, we'll have to figure that out tomorrow if I'm on there. But you know, this is, you know, the work that I do is so important and it's critical work. And so take advantage when I do come on to these lives to come and ask me questions. Like, you really get to ask an expert questions about some of the things that you might be, you know, dealing with in the workplace. And while I'm no longer working in a workplace setting, I definitely can relate to you because, you know, prior to starting my own business and everything, I worked in schools for 6 years. And early on in my career, I experienced burnout and compassion fatigue. And so I'm here to help and make sure that that's not you. I don't want that to be you, sis. So that's why I'm here. So I can kind of help you navigate some of the stuff that's going on. And especially for Black women, you know, we really experience a lot of racism in the workplace, right? And a lot of times, a lot of us and many of us don't know what to do or how to navigate it or how to report it. And I have special videos too on that, showing you, you know, telling you what to do in that aspect as well. But yeah, so we got a few more people in the live. Hey, y'all, you know, go ahead and let us know where you're watching from. We're going to go ahead and kind of start diving a little bit into some discussion before I keep rambling. So you got the racial trauma series. Go back and watch that when you get a chance. Also, I have a playlist dedicated to helping Black women navigate mental health issues. So in that playlist, I just make a variety of different videos surrounding Black women and our mental health. Some of them are just informational or educational, while others are more like solutions or teaching you how to do something. For example, one of my most recent videos, I taught you how to journal for your mental and your emotional health. So if you have not seen that, go and check it out. I think another recent video that I made was, how to be authentic in the workplace as the only Black woman. So in that video, I actually give you strategies for maintaining authenticity when you're the only Black woman in the workplace. And then I also talk to you about, some of the challenges that we face in the workplace that I'm sure resonates with you as well. And so it's just a ton of resources. And then I also try to, just share my personal testimony, anything that I've experienced. Hi there. Hi, Rosemary. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome. Good to see you. I have a lot of information and resources, y'all, that I try to create. And I also would love for you guys to take advantage of the comments too. After you watch a video, you guys always give it a thumbs up, but take advantage of the comments too, because you never know how, your comment or what you share or your experience might help another sister. So, we're in this together. So, just drop a comment, share your experiences. My goal is to really build like an online safe space for Black women to come together where we can support each other, not only just around our mental health, but also in the workplace. Okay, so that is exactly what this space is for. And so hey, thank y'all so much for tuning in. If you want, let us know where you are watching from. That would be great. And so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and jump right in. And I always say we're gonna jump right in, but then I remember that I was talking about the playlist. So the last playlist that I just made a new playlist too that will specifically address like workplace issues. So I'll be working on generating more videos around workplace issues as well. And the last playlist is my travel wellness journey. And so basically, I make content as well, like letting you guys kind of know how I'm taking care of my mental health and my wellness while I'm on the go and while I travel. As some of you may know, I've been traveling full time for the past 5 months now, and I have been everywhere. It seems like I just got back from Costa Rica like a week ago. No, it's been more than a week. What's today? Oh, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago tomorrow. And next month I'll be heading over to Punta Cana, but that's personal. I'm going for a personal reason to, to hang out with some friends, and I have a wedding to go to. But then right after that, y'all, I will be on my way to South Africa, where I will be speaking at one of their university. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. I feel like I can't see. Where are the comments? Let me see if I see anybody. Oh, what is this saying? Oh, some of them don't show up. Okay, yeah, it depends on where people are watching from. I'm sorry. Distracted. I'm still trying to learn this StreamYard thing, y'all. This is my second live, and I really like it though. Once you kind of get the hang of it, it's not too hard to navigate. But I was saying that. Oh yeah. So I'm going to South Africa next month. I'll be in South Africa speaking at a university who invited me to come in and talk about what it's like to be Black in America. How fitting for me, right? I'm so excited about it. It's amazing. I won't say never, but I mean, I never imagined, like, how sometimes you're like, oh, I kind of want to do this. I want to do that. I want to start the business. I want to travel. I want to speak. And we say these things kind of, haphazardly or, whatever. But unbeknownst to me, everything that I have spoken has come to reality and to fruition. So I'm just so grateful and so blessed to be having these opportunities. The retreat in Costa Rica was amazing. I don't know if you guys have watched the behind the scenes video, but that is up as well for you to check that out too. And I'm like, okay, Dr. April hopping from continent to continent, country to country, sharing my expertise all around the globe, y'all. So I'm just so grateful. And thank you guys so much again for tuning into the live. And also, I also want to share that, if you are not following me on social media, I am at the Wellness Room ATL on Instagram and on Facebook. You can also find me on Pinterest. and of course on YouTube. So if you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you do that. Make sure you hit that notification bell as well, because I do post videos here every single week. Now, without further delay, let me go ahead and get into why you are here. All right, so tonight, what we're going to be kind of talking about is workplace issues, like, what it is that, you are experiencing in the workplace, and, you know, what it is that you need support with. So just drop your questions in the comments if you have any, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Brown. I appreciate that. Thank you, Rosemary. I appreciate it. So, yeah, if you have any questions about work, drop it in the comments so that I can answer them for you. And if you don't, have any questions right away, but if there's something that I say that resonates with you, or you're like, oh, maybe I'll ask Dr. April that, like, go ahead, drop it in the comments. I'll be happy to answer it. But yeah, when I reflect back, when I was working at a job, working full time, I got my first real job in my mid-20s. And it was an amazing first experience, to say the least. I'm like, okay, and I went to school, got this master's degree. This is everything that I hoped and dreamed of, and it was not. Okay. I was doing the most at work. Okay. And my first job, y'all, I was the school counselor. And that's what got my master's in. I was so excited. And we went to I got to internship and did all of that, and everything was fine. And then I'll never forget, y'all, when I got that first job, I went to the interview. And no lie, y'all, them folks called me back as soon as I was pulling out the parking lot. So I didn't even, literally after the interview, they called me like, you got the job. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, are you serious? Should have known it was too good to be true. But when you get you get that first job, you're just excited, you're ready to get started and things like that. And yeah, so I got the job, and unbeknownst to me, I would face some different challenges. And being an early career educator, I didn't know, how I was gonna, do anything or get through anything. I didn't know what support looked like. I didn't know my rights. I didn't know, really how to negotiate and advocate for myself at that point. At that point, you just at the age where you like, you know what, I'm just happy to have a job. I got some real money coming in now, you're not living off of hey, it's okay. Hey, Alana, thank you so much for joining. No worries, no worries. So yeah, I experienced some challenges. For example, I found that in my first job, and a lot of school counselors kind of feel like this, that we're like the dumping ground, like the trash can, like everything that nobody wants to do, they make us do, or they ask us. I don't even want to say ask, because your principal will tell you to do something, you're going to do it, so I had a lot of responsibilities that were not related to my job description. I'll give you an example. When you hear the word school counselor, you think, okay, she must work with kids. She probably, provide counseling services to the students and things like that. Yes, I was doing that, but I was doing a whole lot of other things. At the time, I remember being the hearing and vision screener. Okay, now, if anybody know anything about working in schools, there is no reason that a school counselor should be the vision and hearing screener. That is something that, like, the school nurse would do. The school psychologist, we might be pushing it, even saying them like that. Like, we don't do that, but I was doing that. Okay, I was making sure the babies could hear and they could see at my first job. It was a lot. And what else? Oh my gosh, I was also like on the schedule. Like, so in elementary settings, a lot of times the students have specials, right? So, they got art, they have PE, they have what else they have? Art, PE, music, those classes. I was a special. Okay. So twice a week, I would see all 500 students in the whole school. No, we didn't have that many. We had like 250, but that's still a lot. So I was teaching, and what I would teach them, we do like guidance curriculum. So I might teach them, how to make friends and how to be respectful, those things, which are very important. But I was a whole special, y'all. So that was hard because I had to balance like, one-to-one counseling, and also I had to balance all my other duties and responsibilities, but I still had to be present and be seen and see every student all the time. So it made it very hard for me to do like one-on-one or individual counseling with students and stuff. So I probably didn't name every single thing, y'all. I have to really do some journaling and reflecting to name all of the different things that I experienced. But I just remember feeling alone. If you can relate to feeling alone in the workplace, hit the like button, give me a thumbs up or something. Has anybody ever felt alone in the workplace? Yeah, so I have I felt alone because I had to thank you Alana, thank you so much for the thumbs up. Yeah, I felt alone at times because I had to really just navigate it on my own. And when you are in the school setting, hey, thank you so much, Rosemary. I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping in. So yeah, I remember feeling alone too. Like, just, I had to figure it out. And a lot of times, when you are working in certain settings, you are the only person in that role, so to speak, right? So people are expecting you to show up fully in that role, do the duties and responsibilities that they hired you to do and everything. And then when you start having challenges, you really a lot of times feel like you don't have anyone to turn to, because when you are working, in, for example, school settings, and you are a school counselor, a lot of times you have administration, you have just the school counselor, a lot of times it's just one person, and then you have the teachers and then the staff. And so a lot of times you have to kind of navigate, building relationships with different people in the workspace and really finding where you kind of fit. And so it was challenging at times for me. And, as I mentioned earlier on the live, after doing that for about 6 years, I did experience compassion fatigue and burnout. And I was like, no, ma'am, this is not it. This can't be it. But I knew after my first year that I was going to work on some steps and some plans to kind of, make my exit. And so that's when I started pursuing my license, because I knew that if I get a license, that would lead to more freedom and I can be doing what I'm doing now. Well, I didn't know it was going to look like this, but but you get what I'm saying. Like, I just knew that, hey, I can't have all my eggs in one basket. I got to have some options out here. And so that's kind of what I did. And, the pandemic came around, y'all. And at the time I was a contract school-based therapist. So when the pandemic came around, that job was gone. Like, what job? There was no job to go back to. So at that point, I just decided, after taking some time off, to start my own business. And I'm so grateful that I did. But I realize now that leaving is not always the solution. It's the easiest thing to do, but you got to remember, when you leave, the problems are still going to be there at the job. So what about the sister coming behind you or the brother coming behind you to do that job? So if you left the job and things didn't change, they're not going to change for the next Black person that comes into the workspace. So, a lot of times we have to do the right thing when it's hard. And so while I felt like in some spaces I wasn't able to really make the impact I wanted, now that I've left that space, I feel like I have the freedom to make an impact from the outside in. So that's just kind of how I'm looking at it or whatnot. But yeah, so what is let me see. Okay. Yeah. So if you have any comments, or not comments, any questions you want to drop in the chat, drop them. Also, I was going to say or ask you guys, what's one thing that you just wish you could change at work? Like if you could change anything, what would be one thing that you wish you could change? Yeah, drop it in a comment if you have anything. Yeah, I would say for me, um, when I look at just my work experience and my work experience and just everything I've gone through when I was working in a workplace setting, I realized that people were just doing what they needed to do to survive in the workplace. Like, you know, let me just make it to 5 o'clock. You know what I mean? Let me just get all these tasks done. Let me just check off this box and do this and do that. And what I realized was that basically, um, a lot of the issues that I experienced in the workplace, in my opinion, were policy related because we have all of these national standards that tell us that we should be doing this, but then there's no one enforcing that we do that thing, right? So it's almost like there's not a big accountability piece or, and what I mean is a lot of times at the federal level, at the state level, at the local, there's different policies and procedures, but not like one, it's not fluid where everything is in alignment. Like the national organization says we should do this, the state organization said we should do this, the local organization says this. Everybody has different stuff. But I just think that if we could all get on one accord, everything could look the way it looks, and we won't have so many people burned out, like Miss Alana just mentioned. Like, people get burned out and they get tired because a lot of times we're doing way more than what we're supposed to be doing. A lot of the things that we're doing were not listed on the description of the job and on your responsibilities when they hired you. And a lot of times, if I don't know if you guys have noticed if you've been looking for jobs, but it'll say in the description and other duties as assigned by supervisor or administration, right? So that's like low key saying you're going to have to do extra work. So we see that a lot. But yeah, burnout and pay. I feel like being Black, they expect you to work harder for less. Yes, Alana. That's a really, really a big issue for Black people in the workplace. A lot of times, Black people are, we are expected to do more work, and a lot of times we're not, or stay late or work extra, and we're not properly compensated for that. That's a big problem. Not to mention that not to mention the pay, right? The pay is still we're not being paid as much as everyone else to do the same job. So that's also a problem. And that definitely can lead to burnout. And a lot of times what we see, especially for Black folks, is that the retention in the workplace is very low. So a lot of times people hop around, they job hop, they find somewhere that's going to pay them a little bit more, or they're looking for a safer space where they can find community. It can be a lot of different reasons and a lot of things that prompt Black people to kind of leave as well. But yeah, I would say the pay is definitely an issue. And I remember too, y'all, when I got my first job, I remember I came in and I'm thinking, okay, I got this master's degree. I know I'm a first year counselor and everything, but I passed the GACE with exceptional flying, with exceptional flying colors. I got an A++. I was in like the proficient category and everything. So I was like, oh, I've got to make them folks didn't even start me with $45,000. And what got me was there was another counselor who wasn't Black, first year, and she started with like 50,000. Now I'm just trying to figure out, how was it that we both coming to get the same job? You don't have experience, I don't have experience, but you can pay $7,000 to $8,000 more than me for the same job. So it's a big problem. It's a big problem. I really think that policy change is necessary. You know, we need to see some policies in place that make, that really address like equal pay, for all people, no matter what color you are. We all need to be, we get this the same job. We need to be making the same amount of money. Like, what are we doing? But a lot of times that's not the case. And a lot of times when Black people hear about it, they're infuriated, they're upset, they're angry, and they're wondering, well, why, is this person getting paid way more than me and we're doing the same job? And a lot of times these people come in after you. You've been there for years and they come in making more money than you. That's another problem. So, yep, it's something. It really is. So, yeah, thank you for that comment. Thank you. So how do you guys maintain positive relationships at work? Is there anything that you found that helps you to like get along with your colleagues or get along better with your supervisors? Is there anything that you have found to work well for you in the workplace when it comes to like building those support networks and things like that? Or, have you looked into building the support network outside of the workplace? Is that something that you've done because you weren't able to find that support in the workplace? Let me know in the comments, y'all. Okay, Alana says, keep it professional with boundaries. Yes. That's like one of the best things you can do, Alana, is set the boundary. Set the boundary. That's so important. Yes. I think a lot of times people end up having a lot of workplace issues because they don't have any workplace boundaries. These people at your job think that they're your friend. And when you let people get too close, there's not a clear distinction between, the professional relationship. And that can definitely lead to problems. Thank you for your comment. Yeah, I found that setting boundaries was also important for me as well when I was in the workplace. In the beginning, it was kind of hard for me to like advocate and voice what that looked like. But I think it gets to a point where you get so tired and you're burnt out and exhausted that, you dig deep, but you set the boundary, right? I remember my first year, I used to take work home. And one day I realized that work would just stay in the trunk and never made it into the house. So I just stopped bringing the work home. And, I say that to say sometimes we got to set the boundary with ourselves too. I know I had to. But yeah, so, maintaining positive relationships at work, you can definitely set the healthy boundaries with your colleagues as well. Some other things that kind of come with that, just, making sure that you're saying no when it's necessary, whether that's them asking you to stay late or whether that's them asking you to take on an extra task or, to do extra work when they're not going to provide the extra pay, so some of those things are really important to keep in mind as well. And I think another thing that's important with just maintaining those positive relationships, it's understanding the difference between a work relationship and then a personal relationship. It's a big difference. I know that sometimes colleagues have like events outside of work and they invite you to it. I think that can be okay with the right boundaries in place, right? So a lot of times when you're working with these people full time, you're seeing them 40 plus hours a week, they do become, like your family. But even then, it's important for you to set the boundary. Don't feel like you have to go to every single event they have. Don't feel pressured that you have to, do all of these extra things to, maintain this relationship with them. The most important thing that you can do is just make sure, that you prioritize your own mental and emotional well-being, and inside the workplace and outside of the workplace. So, yeah, it's something that you guys can do. All right. And speaking of boundaries, let's see. What might be some ways that you guys address challenges at work? Let's just say, for example, you're having an issue with another colleague who you feel might be like, let me see how I can say this. So let's say you're having an issue with a colleague who is basically demonstrating some unintentional microaggressions. Okay. How do you handle that kind of challenge at work professionally without, getting upset and potentially, losing your temper on the job and things like that? Has anybody ever experienced any forms of microaggressions, whether they were intentional or unintentional in the workplace? If so, share your experience. Share your experience with us and let us know if there was, how you handled that challenge. You never know how your experience might help someone else. And while y'all think about that, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in to the live. If you are not watching the live, but you are tuning in to the replay, hello, welcome. Thank you so much for watching the replay as well. And if you have not, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And make sure that you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you don't miss out when I post a new video here every week on YouTube. Unless I'm engaging in self-care, I try to show up here every single week, y'all. But yeah, it's YouTube's a lot of work, y'all. I just want y'all to know. Don't take it lightly that I am on here. I just want to say that. So take advantage, when you have me, take advantage of that time where you can see me face to face and not just in my videos. But I'm going to try to do a live at least once a month. The next live won't be until I get back from South Africa. So it'll probably be early November. And I will be doing like a 2-year celebration of my rededication to Christ and 2 years in therapy. So we're going to be talking all about that, my big transformation, my growth, just how I've improved my relationship with God, and, also sharing some of the different tools and techniques that I use as well that have helped me along my healing journey. So that'll be somewhere around the first week of November. We'll do a live where I will be sharing that information. I know. Thank you. I know. Yay. Because listen, without therapy, y'all, without God, I would not be on YouTube. I just want y'all to know this. This is not what I had in mind. But, God had other plans for me. So thank God for that. If he called me to it, I was meant to do it. So, hey, I'm here. But yeah, so that is definitely something that we are going to do. So if you are interested in just like, maybe building a stronger relationship with God, or you are wanting to kind of, learn or know a little bit more about therapy or what it was like for me, because for the most part, I've been in therapy every single week. for 2 years. It'll be 2 years early November. And I go every week. I told my therapist she's gonna have to fire me or something or disappear because I'm gonna keep showing up. I had just found it to be very, very helpful and very beneficial to my overall well-being. So yep, it works. It works. Um, yeah. So anybody want to share any challenges? If not, let's shift to something else. How do y'all maintain work-life balance? What are some strategies that you use to maintain work-life balance? Y'all know this is like my area, but I want to hear from y'all first. What are some things you find helpful to maintain work-life balance? Yes, Alana, leave on time. Say no and leave that work at work. Yes, ma'am. I think that would have probably been my top three. Alana, are you reading my mind, girl? Y'all watch any of my other YouTube videos. I keep saying it. Leave that job on time. Okay. I'm talking about when that clock hit 5 o'clock on the dot, your foot need to be on the gas or on the brake so you can back up, depending on how you park, but your foot need to be on that gas and you need to be turning that ignition at 5 o'clock. Okay. I was so bad. Oh my gosh. I used to leave on time. Like I was not playing with these folks. I am not what bus duty? We're not doing that. I'm going home. And then don't come back the next until 8 o'clock on the dot. I'm walking in. I'm just saying, I mean, you got to, you cannot be going in early, staying late. Who doing that? Now that's the quickest way to lead to burnout and compassion fatigue. So you got to leave on time. You got to say no. That's a big part of the boundary setting, right? And I would say that the saying no, leaving on time, and leaving your work at work, those are definitely strategies for maintaining work-life balance. You have got to be able to separate your life from your work. They shouldn't be merging. Like when you leave work, you've got to really challenge yourself to really turn off the work brain so that you can tune in to your family and tune in to the things that you enjoy outside of work, right? So I definitely agree. Like, yes, those are really, really excellent ways to maintain work-life balance and even peace of mind in general. And Alana said, at my last job used to hate me because I would just clock out and say bye. Oh, well, listen, are y'all paying me for overtime? Are you going to pay me to stay extra hours? A lot of times they don't, unless you go over like a certain amount of hours, they're not even going to pay you for the extra 30 minutes, you know? And so, they can be mad all they want to. I got to go. Yep, I used to do the same thing. I'll see y'all later. Bye. And people want to stand around and talk and complain about the job. I got to go. What are we talking about? I'll see y'all tomorrow. So I love that. I love that. But some other strategies for maintaining work-life balance, I would say um outside of setting boundaries, are just, you really tapping into doing things that you enjoy. For some of us that's exercise. For some of us, that might be, it's just really self-care, just whatever you like to do, that is a big part of you taking care of yourself. I like to journal, I exercise, I like to spend time in nature, go for a walk. What's some other things that I like to do? Travel. Traveling is a big part of my mental wellness. So your self-care is just anything that you're doing to prioritize your mental and your emotional well-being. I really think that self-care is an act of self-love as well. And so, and another thing too is, we talk about saying no, it's like you not taking on extra work, right? Like some of us, we doing other people's jobs. Isn't that Sally's job? Why are you doing Sally's job? No. No, you do your job and your job only. That's a big part of maintaining work-life balance. Okay. And yeah, I think that's the hardest thing, is that a lot of us don't know how to like turn off our brain when we leave work though. But you've got to be able to get in a place where you're able to kind of shut that off. So the easiest way to do that is like, don't go home from work and then talk to your partner, call your friends. Girl, let me tell you what happened. Like, your work is always going to be on your brain if you're always talking about it, right? So find some other strategies outside of complaining about the workplace um to shut your brain off when you need to. And you know, for me, I think I'm really surprised, but it really came easy for me to do that. It might be because I have a counselor brain. So I do a lot of compartmentalizing things that don't matter right now in the present moment, kind of go in a box, and then I set it to the side. And then when it's time to revisit that, I pick it back up. And that, I think therapy helps with that too, because, you know, I don't ruminate or focus too much on the past or focus on the future. Like, all we got is right now. So like, what's important right now, today, in the present moment. So staying in the present moment helps me to also maintain work-life balance. So that might look like you engaging in some mindfulness, some meditation, you know, listening to some calm music. I like to listen to sound baths, ASMR. What else? Lo-fi music is really good too. Maybe some soft jazz or some classical music, you know, just anything to get your brain thinking about something else. I also listen to a lot of Christian and gospel music too. Shout out to Jesus Culture. I love Jesus Culture. When y'all gonna do another tour? I'm just trying to figure out, because I want to be in the front row. They help me get through a lot of stuff. I listen to their music all the time. Yeah, so anything else you find that helps you maintain work-life balance that you want to share? Drop it in the comments. Yeah, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button. And make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out when I post a new video here every single week. And I got some comments. Let's see. Yes. Meditation. Meditation is, it's wonderful. It's a great way to recenter yourself and ground yourself. It reduces stress and anxiety and helps you to really hone in on the present moment. So meditation is a very, very wonderful tool that you can practice to maintain that work-life balance, okay? And just overall peace of mind as well. Thank you. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, that's such a good point, Dr. Brown. Yes, use your paid time off. You know, I talked about that in I think I talked about that. Oh, in my last video, how to be authentic in the workplace as the only Black woman. And in that video, I mentioned like how some of us, we don't use our paid time off. Yes, using your paid time off, taking a mental health day, taking a mental health break, go on vacation, you know, spend some time with your family. That's definitely a great way to maintain your work-life balance. And I was just saying in that video how like some of us don't even take off to go to our doctor's appointments. Like, what are we doing? Like, you gotta go get your checkups and stuff. So, you know, yes, if you have time off, stop letting that time off pile up. And some of y'all will say, well, I just want to make sure I have enough until, you know, after retirement, I can retire early. Child, retirement probably ain't nothing for another 15, 20 years. You better use that time. You'll be able to gain it or re-earn it or however they do it at your job, you know. So yeah, take some time off. I love that, Dr. Brown. Thank you. Yes, we got to take some time off. Absolutely. Yes. And, you know, just to kind of add to that with the taking time off, I also think that it's important that we are understanding the importance of rest, because some of us will take a day off, take a mental health day, and then you running errands or you grocery shopping or you know, you doing all these different things. And then by the time you sit down, you got to start getting ready to go to work the next day. So, you got to get to a place where you can really surrender to just rest. Okay. Rest means you do nothing. Okay. Maybe you Netflix and chill, or maybe I don't know. I mean, I guess you can go get a massage. That's what you want to do. But the point is that your mind is resting, right? So you're not thinking about what you got to do tomorrow. You're not thinking about the kid's schedule. You're not thinking about, what you're going to cook for dinner tomorrow, or what you're going to meal prep. And you're not making no grocery list. No, you're letting your mind just rest. And I think that's also important, that we've got to be able to get to a place where we rest our minds. That's so important. A lot of us are used to just our minds spinning and running 100 miles a minute. Like the thoughts just racing. That's an indicator that you need to practice some mindfulness for sure. Or that you might be dealing with some anxiety and you might want to talk to a professional about that. Consider some therapy if you have racing thoughts. And I mean, when I'm saying racing, I mean racing all times a day. Even at night, you can't sleep because your brain don't know how to stop talking. That's a sign that you might want to get some support with that. Okay. Could definitely be attributed to anxiety. All right. Let's see. I know we kind of touched on, like, I asked you guys a little bit earlier about microaggressions, but has anybody encountered any racism or discrimination at work at all? Yeah, share your experiences if you had any encounters. I do remember an uncomfortable encounter that I had when I was in the workplace. And yeah, I was so upset. My team had to calm me down after the encounter, but I was also at the, how do I say this? Again, I was in my early career stages. I didn't know anything about racial trauma. I didn't know anything about racism. I didn't know nothing. I'm just trying to work and, do what I got to do to take care of myself. But when I reflect on that situation now, I have the tools and I have the resources to respond appropriately. Had that, or even if in the future, if I were to encounter something like that. But I want to say that there is help and there are resources. The research around racial trauma is still emerging. So it's still developing, it's still growing. We don't have any, I guess you can say, evidence-based, or how do I say this? Any approved, so to speak, treatments for it, but we do know some things that may work or may help for it. Racial trauma symptoms oftentimes mimic post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms. So, nightmares, panic attacks, anxiety, hypervigilance, or sensitivity to threat. Those things are very common. And so you can go to therapy to get treatment for the post-traumatic stress disorder kind of symptoms. Whether you find a therapist that has knowledge and experience in trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy. Some people may opt to do EMDR, which is eye movement desensitization reprocessing. So that's also an option. But I say this to say that racism and discrimination is a big problem. It is ongoing in the workplace for Black people. And one of the things that makes it more detrimental for Black women is that Black women tend to internalize racism more than men, more than Black men. So we take it personally, okay? And so it can be very detrimental to our mental, physical, and emotional uh, well-being, for sure. And okay, so Alana said my husband did, but not me. Yeah, Black men actually experience racism in the workplace just as much as Black women. It's just that Black women, like I said, tend to internalize a little bit more than Black men. But Black people in general are having an issue, and it's very disturbing because we have these policies, some policies, right? I mean, everybody has seen these policies. We don't discrimination based on color. Y'all see that every time you fill the job application, they tell you that. But then when people get inside of the workplace, it looks completely different. People are experiencing racism. They are experiencing discrimination. Intentional and unintentional microaggressions are very common. So, it's a real big problem that we are yet to really solve. That's why there are people out here like me who are trying to publish this research so that people can see, like, this isn't just a thing that just happens some of the time. It's happening all of the time, and our voices need to be heard. And so that's what I want to do, whether it's through my research and my writing or through YouTube. I want to create a safe space online where our voices can be heard, because ultimately what we really need, outside of making sure that we're taking care of our mental and our emotional health when we're experiencing racism and discrimination, we need policy change. We need advocacy around policies that protect Black people in the workplace. So yeah, that's what I'm on a mission to do. Like, we need some policies that protect us. Yeah, we have the Crown Act, but Black women are still mistreated for wearing locks to work, or if you wear your natural hair, you looked at crazy. So these are some things that are still going on. So we really need to see some changes being made on our behalf. And Alana said, because he is Black with locks, yeah, they assume he's aggressive, has a record. Yeah, Alana, the stereotyping is real. It's real. I will say this. One of the things that my research study found was that Black women in the workplace were, or at least my participants, who are Black women, they were aware how society's assumptions about them, stereotypes, and just, overall the societal view of Black women, it impacted them in the workplace. Like, my research shows that, like, people made assumptions that they were angry, that they were scary. Some of them were called intimidating or, unapproachable, because they were Black women. And a lot of them were like, well, whoa, wait a minute. I haven't done anything to be the angry Black woman. I haven't done anything to be seen as unapproachable. I'm always approachable. My door is always open for folks to come in and out. Like, what do you mean? But it's a lot of times we're being judged based on our appearance, based on the color of our skin, just for being Black. And it makes it very, very difficult for us to navigate in the workplace and in general to feel safe. So it's a big problem. But yeah. Yep. And, I've heard some Black women also tell me that, Dr. April, when I've gone to work and I've worn like wigs. So I have, straight hair, it's laid, how y'all wear y'all lace fronts and all that. And, her wig was laid and everything. And every time she had that hairstyle, everybody would compliment her. Oh my gosh, her hair's so pretty. It looks so nice. Wow. And then when you change it up and you come to work with your afro or your natural hair, they didn't get no compliments. Like, it was almost like, who is this new person showing up to work? I mean, it's crazy. And that's why I try to encourage us too, like, as Black women, like, yeah, I know that sometimes we like to do our protective styles. We wear our sew-ins, we wear our wigs and stuff like that. But sometimes you gotta just show up as you, girl. Like, show up naturally you. And one thing I'll say too is that in the workplace, we have to stop putting our identity in a box. Like, we know that as Black people, we have so many different aspects of who we are. right? So some days you might feel like wearing, your natural hair. Other days you might want to wear a wig. One day you might want to dress up. One day you might want to dress down. Like, it's about you being comfortable in the skin you are in, and you feeling comfortable to show up unapologetically and authentically you, no matter what workspace you occupy. It's important that we show up who we are, at the end of the day. And yeah. Thank you, Alana. Yes, we do. We are rooting for you. Thank you so much. Yes. We got to get these policies in place so that we can create some safety in the workplace for Black folks. That is a big part of my mission. And to do that, the first thing that has to be done is our voices have to be heard. So this is what this platform is for. We're going to be doing some other things in the future, some interviews as well with Black women. It's gonna be going down on here. So I need y'all to go ahead and tell all y'all friends about this channel, about the work that Dr. April is doing and how I'm helping. And I know a lot of the participants in my study, they agreed to participate because they needed somewhere to just talk about it, to let this thing out. Like, they needed to let it out. A lot of us, we leave the job because of the racism and the discrimination, and we go to another job. But then the person coming behind us, they're going to deal with the same stuff you dealt with. And nothing changes. You got another sister or brother broken by the system, hurt by what's going on in the workplace. And they like, dang, I didn't know it was going to be like this. I wish somebody would have told me, So, yeah, this channel is dedicated to all that, all the work stuff. You got work issues, this the channel. If your friend calling you, complain about their job every day, this the channel. Go ahead and send her over here too. Okay. I want to build an online community where we're supporting each other at work, okay, and helping each other thrive in our careers and in all professional settings. So I appreciate y'all for being on here. I really do. And as always, I do want to invite you to make sure you check out some of the resources in the description box. I always have tons of resources in the description box, and also ways for you to support the channel. So don't just watch the video and listen to me talk and then like, okay, but like, yeah, there's also ways you can support. Follow us on Instagram, and you can also join our email list, or join my email list as well, because on that email list, I do send monthly resources and keep you just updated on what I'm doing and all of that. Some exciting news next week, depending on how fast my editors can get it done. Shout out to my editors, by the way. The next 5 weeks is really going to be all of my travel content. So that is coming, y'all. So if you are just interested in wanting to travel, or maybe you want to just get more intentional about your travel, basically my travel videos are not only me documenting my travel wellness journey, but I'm also sharing with you just some tips and some insights on how you can travel and travel intentionally. Like, I'm letting you know things that you can do when you go to these places that are going to help you improve your mental, your emotional, your spiritual well-being. Okay. So next 5 weeks, travel, follow me where I'm at, what I'm doing, all of that. I have so much travel content, y'all. It's a lot of content. So I'm just trying to put everything together, but it's coming. I promise. Okay. So make sure you stay up to date with that, because in the new year, I'll have some really, really exciting things coming forward that kind of go with the travel wellness content that you guys might find beneficial as well. All right, let's see. And also, if you are having issues in the workplace, I do offer workplace consultations. So basically, you would just hop on a call with me where you would come with an issue you're having at work, and yeah, you'll get some expert advice and some insights into some things that you can do, some strategies to help you navigate different workplace issues. Also, upon request, I am available to come into the workplace and speak for you on your behalf as your advocate. So that's something else that I can do. Maybe you feel like, Dr. April, I know what I want to say to these folks, but I just don't have the words. Don't worry, I got the words. I got you. And so, I'm here to support you any way that I can. The link to book the workplace consultation will also be in the description box as well. And also, y'all, don't forget, if you are having some issues right now in the workplace and you're looking for some specific help, I do have some links in the description box as well for some of the videos that I made around workplace issues, especially when it comes to navigating racial trauma or racism in the workplace. So there's some different things like, helping you confront microaggressions with confidence, helping you to, use your voice and be heard in the workplace. And then y'all know I shared this not too long ago, but my most watched video was how to set boundaries in the workplace without being labeled the angry Black woman. I don't know what it was about that video, y'all, but that video almost had 300 views. A lot of people resonated with that video. So whatever I was saying in that video, there's some good stuff because people liked it. So you are welcome to go and watch that as well. See if it's something in there that might help you. So yeah, the link to that video is also in the description box. And yeah, I was going to say, let's see here. If you, let's see here. If you have any other last minute questions, go ahead and drop it in the box. It's 7:13, y'all. We've been on here for a little minute, and it's Friday the 13th. So I know, some of y'all might want to go ahead and get your weekend started early. So I'm not going to keep you on here too much longer. But I just thank you, and I appreciate you guys for hopping on the live, and thank you for engaging and commenting and asking questions and things like that. Your continued support really does mean the world to me. And so I do not take it for granted that you could be spending your Friday night doing anything else, but you are here with me. So thank you so much. And any other last comments or questions that you guys want to drop in the chat? Let me know. All right. So if we don't have any other questions, any other concerns, I'm assuming that all hearts and minds are clear. So again, thank y'all so much for tuning into this live. Thank you so much for being here. And before you go, let me leave you with this. Remember that you are a beautiful flower that blooms and flourishes. I'm just playing. I bet y'all thought I froze. Remember that you are a beautiful flower that blooms and flourishes. Thank you so much for being here, and may your light continue to nourish those around you. And thank you so much for bringing beauty to our community, one petal at a time. Thank you. Take care of yourself. Bye, y'all. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Brown. Y'all take care.